everybody, and welcome to Movie Recaps with Brit. Today, we will be taking a look at a movie titled This Is Not What I Expected. Without further ado, let's get started. The film commences by presenting Jin, a prosperous entrepreneur with a notable inclination for restaurants. This culinary enthusiast meticulously oversees his dining establishments, investing significant time in refining dishes prepared by renowned chefs. His distinct skill has evolved over time, enabling him to identify ingredients through scent alone. One day, Jin visits a luxury hotel that he intends to acquire. He tastes the renowned beef Wellington, the chef's specialty, and immediately detects a mushroom error. An array of chef's specials follows, each with a flaw that disappoints Jin. After an hour, the head chef is depleted of ideas, and the staff are clueless about impressing Jin. We are then introduced to Shengnan, a skilled intern with impeccable global culinary expertise, set for rapid promotion due to her remarkable talent. Despite the imminent departure of Jin in just 20 minutes, Shengnan boldly accepts the challenge to prepare a dish he'll enjoy. Skeptical staff anticipate her failure, yet within the allotted time, Jin is presented with a novel dish. Upon catching the aroma, Jin's eyes widen in recognition of the Romani delight, spaghetti alla strega. He discerns its authenticity, reserved for Romani women and requiring precise spice measurements due to its traditional nature. Shengnan's faithful rendition earns Jin's admiration. He devours the dish and opts to extend his stay at the hotel, eager to savor more of her culinary creations. The manager informs Shengnan of Jin's perceptive comment, prompting her to view it as a culinary challenge. She's determined to astonish him with her cooking prowess. Shengnan is also romantically involved with the restaurant's general manager, who exploits her skills even during her busiest days. Following a day of relishing her creations, he abruptly ends their relationship due to her slim physique. Though shattered, Shengnan understands the futility of arguing. Later, as Jin prepares to depart, he notices her seated on his car's hood. She is unrecognized as the chef, since he did not get to see her. Mistaking the car for her ex's, Shengnan scratches it as a lesson. When Jin confronts her, she realizes her error on the wrong floor. Swiftly apologizing, she pledges to repaint it. Later, intoxicated, she ascends to the roof. Simultaneously, Jin prepares ramen, viewing even instant noodles as intricate due to precise timing and measurements. Just as he's about to taste, a figure plummets onto his balcony. It's Shengnan, intoxicated, fallen from the roof. Unable to convince her to leave, Jin places her in a suitcase and confines her in an elevator. Discovered by alarm staff, they mistake her for a corpse. In the subsequent scene, Jin finds himself incarcerated with other offenders. Outside, Shengnan explains the situation to the officer. Later, Jin's aide arrives and secures his release. Hoping to avoid Shengnan, Jin unexpectedly encounters her the following day. While assisting children, Shengnan unintentionally disturbs a beehive, resulting in Jin being stung and his face swelling. Frustrated, he gifts her a watch that signals close proximity, and she agrees to flee whenever the alarm goes off. The next day, Jin orders various dishes to assess the chef's skills. Shengnan consistently impresses him, yet he remains oblivious to her true identity. Gradually, he requests off-menu items. Shengnan toils until midnight, but Jin seems to have a great time. In a bid to signify her departure, she adds squid ink to a dish. Comprehending the hint, Jin abstains from ordering more dishes that night. He sends her a letter encouraging her to remain an engaging adversary rather than fleeing. The subsequent day, Jin faces an interview where the suitcase incident is probed, causing discomfort. Simultaneously, Shengnan realizes the demanding customer is the same individual she should avoid. Fearful of her watch's signal, she attempts to escape but tumbles into the pool. In the next meal, Jin desires Shengnan's inventive prowess. Instead of dish names, he offers 3 open-ended themes: a time, a place, and a moment. For the first theme, Shengnan crafts an intensely spicy seafood dish, signifying summertime. Jin struggles with consuming spicy foods, but is content because he successfully captured the intended concept. The second element pertains to the location. In this particular meal, the scent of rosemary triggers memories of a seaside lighthouse for Jin, and he identifies it as a portrayal of Shanghai. Moving on to the final course, Shengnan prepares pork seasoned with matcha, evoking thoughts of the Japanese tea ceremony for Jin. Shengnan's remarkable skill amazes him, and is equally impressed that he comprehended the precise symbolism behind each dish. When it comes to dessert, she proposes crafting an original creation. This sweet cake combines ingredients commonly found in the US, Canada, and the UK. These 3 regions correspond to Jin's residences throughout his years, conveying his identity. However, unexpectedly, there is a truffle present that catches him off guard. He requests the waiter to summon the chef so that she can personally clarify its significance. Shengnan, feeling apprehensive about facing him, sends the head chef outside to convey her message. The head chef discloses that the truffle grows underground and devours its surroundings to maintain its dominance. Shengnan perceives Jin as akin to a truffle, which motivated her to include it. Jin dismisses the head chef's explanation and embarks on a quest to find Shengnan, but she flees before he can locate her. Later on, they chance upon each other in the restroom. Jin detects the aroma of food from her and identifies her as the chef responsible for his meals. The subsequent day at work, he deactivates his watch and catches her in the act of cooking in the restaurant's kitchen. Grudgingly, Shengnan acknowledges that she is his chef. She also confirms that the truffle was a representation of his arrogance. Jin contemplates the situation and commends her for grasping his nature even better than he does. Later, while he's in his room, he receives a call from his father, Mr. Lu. Due to his strong focus on business, Mr. Lu often falls short in his role as a father to Jin. Lu encourages Jin to resume his work, citing the excessive time he has spent in a single hotel. The next morning, Jin contacts room service to order his first meal of the day. However, he learns that Shengnan is on sick leave. Unwilling to consume food prepared by anyone else, he pays a visit to her apartment. He even brings along all the necessary ingredients for her to prepare the specific dish he desires. Despite her messy home, Jin tidies up and arranges a dining area for himself while she takes charge of cooking. Despite still feeling uneasy about his presence, Shengnan agrees to join him for a meal. To her surprise, he requests that they dine separately in the kitchen since he prefers eating alone. Annoyed by his apparent arrogance, she begrudgingly complies. When she emerges later, she discovers Jin napping on her sofa. Strangely, he struggles to sleep anywhere else, but her couch offers him remarkable comfort. Hours pass, and Jin awakens to find Shengnan sleeping on her own bed. The following day, he returns and prompts her to cook a different dish. After their meal, he drifts into sleep once more. On the third day, he arrives with a sheet to enhance the couch's comfort. Over time, he begins bringing pajamas and personal items, gradually transforming her space. Throughout this period, Shengnan finds it challenging to sleep due to his snoring, which in turn affects her job performance. One afternoon, Shengnan permits him to join her for a meal, and the two of them savor a lengthy dining experience together. They also sample blowfish for the first time, unaware of its intoxicating effects. Soon, they begin to feel the impact and start hallucinating, perceiving that it's raining. They persistently remain under an umbrella, even indoors, engaging in nonsensical conversations. After a while, they venture outside, still under the impression that it's raining despite the completely dry weather. Eventually, they find themselves on a bus, where Jin's intoxication subsides. He becomes aware of the attention they're drawing and urges Shengnan to lower the umbrella, but she remains unaffected and continues to act under the influence. As the night concludes, Jin escorts her home and ensures she's comfortable in bed. Fast forward 2 days later, Shengnan hasn't crossed paths with him since their shared meal. To her concern, she discovers that he has also checked out of the hotel. Opting to check on him, she pays a visit to his residence. To her astonishment, he is savoring a meal prepared by his personal chef of 7 years. Instantly, a rivalry sparks between the two women as they vie to establish their significance in Jin's life. Ultimately, an enraged Shengnan departs in frustration. The subsequent day, the other chef arrives at Shengnan's workplace and proposes that she become an assistant chef for Jin. Shengnan declines the offer, urging the chef to leave her alone. During the night, Jin arrives at her apartment with intentions to apologize but retreats at the last moment. Despite never having felt a strong connection with anyone apart from Shengnan, he's apprehensive about losing her. Unaware that his emotions signify love, he distances himself. Subsequently, he visits the restaurant and dismisses all kitchen staff. Determined to acquire the hotel, he realizes that due to inadequate management, their company plans to repurpose it. Jin attempts to communicate with Shengnan, but she refuses to listen to anything he says. While having dinner, Jin invites his chef to join him, surprising her as he's never done so in the 7 years they've known each other. She mentions preparing a single portion as usual. Later, she messages him, expressing her desire to remain solely his personal chef. With a flight scheduled soon, Jin initially considers seeing Shengnan before leaving but ultimately decides against it. In a subsequent scene, he's with his father who expresses disappointment in Jin for prioritizing personal matters over business. They share a meal, and Jin inquires if his father has experienced love. His father responds that he only focuses on things beneficial to his business. This prompts Jin to realize he doesn't want to emulate his father's approach. He changes his plans, taking the next flight to Shanghai to reunite with Shengnan. Meanwhile, she is on the verge of selling the watch he presented her with long ago. Unexpectedly, the watch begins to ring, signifying his presence. Catching sight of him across the street, Shengnan promptly hails a taxi, aiming to avoid confronting or conversing with him. Jin, however, remains determined and persists in tailing the taxi, eventually finding himself in a bustling market. Guided by the watch signal, he locates Shengnan's dog wearing it. The dog leads him to a location where Shengnan has secluded herself. Despite her initial reluctance, her interest is piqued when he mentions that she's his sole companion in life. He admits his affection for her and urges her to step outside. Shengnan even playfully coerces him into declaring her the most attractive person globally. Following their interaction, they head to her apartment building, although Jin escorts her to a different unit due to its superior skyward view. The movie concludes as they enjoy the sunset together. Thank you for watching our movie recap. While it may seem simple, it actually took a lot of hard work and dedication to produce. If you enjoyed the video, we kindly ask you to show your support by liking and subscribing to our channel. By doing so, you'll stay updated on our latest content and help us continue creating more in-depth analyses and critiques of the movies you love. Thank you again for your support.